Good morning, Epiphany. It's Wednesday, and I'm glad to see you. Yesterday, I gave you something to consider, an idea that I think is sort of a big idea. It's one of the stumbling blocks that a lot of people find with Scripture. It's this idea of healing. Because we see healings happen in the Bible, and we're skeptical, right? I mean, what's really going on there? Is it just made up stuff? Is it hocus pocus? Were they really healed? Were they never really sick? You know, there's not science involved. There's nothing repeatable here, at least as far as we can tell. And so that becomes a diminishment in our understanding and belief of Holy Scripture. I'm sorry we couldn't be there in the days when Jesus healed. Some people have a gift for healing. And one of the things we've known by studying our great healers who are also scientists is that part of their healing charism is something innate unto themselves. So studies have shown, read one recently, and I wish I could remember where, that talked about how patients who were given a placebo and knew they were given a placebo, but still had a great deal of trust in their physician, continued to do better. It was about the relationship with the physician that impacted the person's state of health. Now, real medicines help, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm a total science guy. I'm married to a doctor. I got a doctor dad. But I also see with my father, and maybe you found this in your physicians, people that have been healers in your life, that it's not just about what they say, it's how they say it, it's who they are, it's what they believe, and it's how they believe in you. So let's not diminish the value of relationship healing. Let's don't diminish the value of a charism that somebody may have towards a healing art or a healing power that may be bigger than you and I can understand. Maybe that's what we have with Jesus. Maybe. I'm inclined to think it is. Let's take a look, chapter 5, the Gospel of John, because what we find here is another healing. This time, it's in Jerusalem. I'll read verse 1, chapter 5. After this, there was a festival of the Jews, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Remember, Jerusalem is south of where he was, but it's always up because you climb that hill. Jerusalem was built on a hill. Now in Jerusalem, by the sheep gate, there is a pool called in Hebrew Bethzatha, which has 5 porticos. In these lay many invalids, blind, lame, and paralyzed. One man was there who had been ill for 38 years. Okay, I'm going to say it again. This is John, right? This is the Gospel of John. Lazarus writing as a witness there with Jesus. And somebody probably said, he's been there 38 years. Or ask him how long he's been there, and someone does, and they say 38 years. John is writing, the Gospel of John is written by an eyewitness to correct and to show validity to the things that happened. And so you see these sort of concrete things. How long was the man there? It doesn't say in the other Gospels. It says here, he was there 38 years. So when Jesus saw him lying there and knew that he had been there a long time, he knew because he's a master observer. I've said that before. Jesus' capacity in the context to understand what's going on has to do with his observing capacity. He looks around. This guy's been here for a long time. Look at all the stuff around him, or the junk, or whatever it was that set a clue in Jesus' mind that he had been there a long time. And so he wonders, do you want to be healed? And I love that about Jesus, because Jesus is always saying to us, what do you want? You are free. We talk about freedom a lot here as Christians at Epiphany. You are free. Do you want to be healed? Because I'm not going to come and just willy-nilly heal you. I could, but I don't want to. What do you want? So he says to this guy, do you want to be healed? And the sick man answers Jesus, Sir, I love this. Sir, I have no one to put me into the pool when the water is stirred up. And while I'm making my way, someone else jumps down ahead of me. Not my fault. He doesn't answer the question, do you want to be healed? He immediately goes to the blame game. he immediately goes to all the excuses, right? He doesn't say, no responsibility. No, I don't want to be healed. Yes, I do want to be healed. I've been trying to be healed. I mean, capable of getting down there. Like, he doesn't take any ownership of this. He immediately points to somebody else, right? He immediately says, it's not my fault. I know what that's like, right? I want to do that all the time. It's not my fault, right? I did everything right, and somebody else beat me. Somebody else pushed me out of the way. It's such an easy place to go, but it's to actually deny our own agency. It's to deny our own freedom. We're going to talk a little bit more about this tomorrow, but I wonder where you employ your agency freely as a beloved child of God most vigorously. And where are those places in your life where you're pretty quick to pass on blame? I don't know. But we all have those areas. We have our great agency and places of empowerment, I hope. And then we have those places where, it's his fault. I didn't do it. Look at that. You know, I mean, we want to blame somebody else. Something to think about on this Wednesday. I'm glad to see you. I'll see you tomorrow. I keep you in my prayers, that's for sure. I love you. And peace upon your soul.